What is your major?
Computer science.
Do you think you can answer 5 questions every computer science major should know?
I'm not sure.
You want to try?
I can try, okay.
What year are you?
I'm PhD final year. It's not exactly computer science, I'm scientific computing, machine learning.
So you're focusing on scientific computing, machine learning, AI. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions everyone in this PhD should know, okay?
All right, let's see.
Okay, I'm going to be using StudyFetch to ask you these questions. Each one will get harder if you get it right. What is overfitting?
Yeah, when you fit to the data points and you just fit very closely to the data points and you can also in the process just fit to the noise in the data.
Yeah, good job. 1 for 1. What is gradient descent?
Yeah, so it's the algorithm for optimizing. You can take an example as a neural network. So it's a gradient descent is you take derivatives and then you optimize the parameters.
Good job. 2 for 2. What is the difference between classification and regression?
Yeah, so regression is you're fitting to. So classification would be you have a finite set of outputs. So it could be finite number. Regression is where the output could essentially be a decimal, a floating point or something like that.
Yeah, good job. 3 for 3. What is backpropagation?
Yeah, so backpropagation is a technique for training neural networks. So it's related to gradient descent is an algorithm that uses backpropagation basically. So you're making a forward pass, computer loss function, get the gradients, and the backpropagation is where you propagate that information back, update the weights.
Yeah, good job. 4 for 4. What is numerical stability?
Yeah, okay. So in computers, essentially you represent all numbers as floating point numbers. So in floating point, it's an approximation. So as you accumulate through the iterations, you can accumulate those errors. So numerical stability would be you want to make sure that you don't accumulate those errors.
Okay, you want to try one more? It's supposed to be the hardest one.
All right, let's see.
Okay. Why are transformers more effective than RNNs for large-scale language modeling?
Yeah, because they scale with the data. So that's been the evidence so far. Yeah. You can add more data, you can make them larger. They seem to defy normal what people would think, that you would have run into problems like zero gradients becoming vanishing gradients or floating gradients. That does not happen. So that's the main.
Good job. 6 for 6. And what are you trying to get into after you finish your PhD?
Probably want to start my company. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah. What do you want to start?
It'll be in machine learning only, scientific machine learning. Whatever I'm doing my PhD, I want to just extend that. What is StudyFetch?
So StudyFetch is like the #1 app I recommend to college students because you can just upload your course materials. It can create flashcards, quizzes, and create study plans just for you. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.